Got your cold one? Crack your cold ones, guys. It's on. He stole my shirt!
Hello, Kaldheim!
This guy.
Okay, I've always wanted to do that. What's up, everybody? My name is Jimmy Wong. Today, we are here to talk about Kaldheim, the most metal magic set in the history of the game. And here to help us out, we have our very own metal band, Immersturm! Woo! Wow. My heart's beating. Now, we're not just gonna be shredding all day, we also have to let our inner Viking out because Kaldheim is the set and the world of Vikings. And what's more metal than Vikings? Agreed. We got lots of fun things in store today, including I might be throwing some axes. Hey, did we get the insurance forms filled out for that? No? Whatever. Okay, stick around, we got tons of good stuff coming up. But first, something I like to call the heavy metal interlude. Woo! All right, we are back, and joining us today is Cynthia Shepard, art director at Wizards of the Coast. Hello, Cynthia, welcome back.
Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for having me back. I am so excited to talk to you about this set today.
Yeah, I can't wait. So why don't we just start with the backstory? What can you tell us about Kaldheim?
Well, when we were creating it, we started with what are Vikings like? And they don't do anything in half measures. They go all out. So we decided it was a matter of go big or die gloriously in battle trying. So instead of just one unique place, we made lots of unique places in Kaldheim. And instead of one or two creature types, there's lots of different epic creatures and bigger feats. Everything was just go big or go home.
That's amazing. Well, we talked about creatures, but I'm interested in planeswalkers. So who can we expect to see in this set?
Well, I mean, I could just tell you, or we could have some help from the band.
Ooh, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Hey, Max, what do you think?
Yeah!
That's a resounding yes.
Well, all right then. First up, we have Kaya the Inexorable.
Yeah!
She is the hero of the story here in Kaldheim, and we've seen her all around the multiverse, killing ghosts, hunting them as an assassin for hire, and here in Kaldheim, she's hunting a different kind of mysterious prey. And I kind of wonder what that shadow is in the background of her borderless art there.
Oh yeah, some hints. Okay, who else do we got?
Next up, we have Nico Eris. I am super excited to introduce you to Nico. They've planeswalked to Kaldheim from their home plane of Theros, where they were a champion athlete.
Blue-white
and we see them here on
planeswalker!
their card, using some of their signature shard magic, which has a couple interesting properties. They can throw the shards with keen precision, and sometimes they can temporarily capture creatures in them.
And fittingly, since they're from Theros, the shards are token enchantments. Pretty cool.
Next up, we have an elf planeswalker from Kaldheim, Tyvar Kell.
This guy looks metal.
I think that's the way he would want to be introduced all the time,
I modeled for this.
I said earlier,
Not gonna
Vikings
lie.
don't do anything in half measures, right? And neither does Tyvar, especially when it comes to his gym membership.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm a little envious, not gonna lie.
And lastly, we have our returning villain, Tybalt.
Yeah, he's back.
He is, and he's actually back in multiple forms. So in Kaldheim, I wouldn't want to run afoul
7
of Tybalt
mana?
on a good day.
What?
Here, he's in Kaldheim impersonating a god named Valky.
We're gonna go back and go over every card We're gonna go over
Very
every
cool.
card
and it's
after
a
the show
return
is
of the
done.
Molo double-faced
promise.
card.
That's right. So there's multiple ways that you wouldn't want to run into him in a dark fjord.
I
hell
love the
is all
showcase art on
this?
this. It looks like it was chiseled by ancient Viking architects.
It's true. We employed actual Vikings to carve the
Can't
showcase
read
frames for this
too
set.
fast.
I would expect
too
no
much
less.
text.
Okay, we've seen some awesome cards. Where can we find out more about the story behind Kaldheim?
Well, just like in Zendikar, we are doing web fiction again, so please keep an eye out for that soon. Like, really, really soon.
I definitely will. Well, in that case, I think it's time we take a quick little break. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's time
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
we're all tired.
heavy
Let's
metal
take a
interlude.
break. We haven't been waiting for this for months or nothing.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, really get your blood flowing, huh?
Dude, I'm awake now. I don't even need this anymore.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I first
I'm
heard
not
the words
awake.
Viking world, I was sold. I was 100% in, but I think it might be important for everyone watching to get a little more insight about what's going on in the world and how it works. So what can you tell us?
Well, Kaldheim is Magic's Viking world. It's been requested by fans for a long time, so we really wanted to double down and give them everything they're hoping for.
Have you been
So this
requesting
is a
Viking
plane
world?
of legends and gods
sensei,
and
no
Norse
sensei.
mythology and magic, all kinds of things.
Wow, that is a solid list of ingredients.
And there's more, actually. So, Kaldheim, at its heart, is centered around a cosmic world tree. And the plane is divided into realms, 10 of which we're actually going to see in this set.
10 realms.
So the realms operate kind of like mini multiverses, which are connected
Mini
like fruit suspended from the branches of the tree.
multiverses.
The world tree is the origin of all life in Kaldheim.
Some
And you
hippie
can
stuff
see the
here.
branches in the sky in all 10 realms.
Wow, so that means that depending on the realm you're in, you're gonna see the world tree a little differently.
Exactly. Each of the realms is different and has a different major creature type. Let's get started with Bredegard.
Draugr.
So this is the realm that's dominated by humans, and among the humans there are 5 different clans. We have the Beskir,
Wait,
the Omen
10
Seekers,
realms.
Skell, Tuscari, and
Humans,
Kana.
5
And these
clans.
clans are perpetually in conflict with one another, but
It's
they're
getting
able to
complicated.
keep peace by the Code of Clans, which is enforced by the Beskir. Here, let's take a look at one of the
This
Omen
is coming off like
Seekers.
a high
This
school
is
anime.
Inga Rune Eyes. What do you think, Jimmy?
Wow, really impressive. And let's talk about that showcase art. That is epic. That's how I want to feel when I play Magic. It's just that right there.
like that? Like you're
I
on
mean,
a boat?
I love seeing new cards. Do we have
Jimmy
any
wants
more?
to be on a boat?
Absolutely. Let's look at Sigrid.
Wow, wow, this is great.
This card is
I'm loving
insane.
seeing the Aurora Borealis equivalent above her as well.
It's a
Broke
feature of the
AF.
cosmos
I want the full
here
art.
in Kaldheim.
Come on,
Anything
full art.
related to the cosmos kind of has that Aurora Borealis effect. Oh, and check her out in her showcase frame.
Oh,
Oh, and
no,
interesting.
not better.
Protection from
No,
god
I wanted
creatures.
the
That tells me a
previous
lot about
art.
Kaldheim here. It
Better.
seems like it's going to come in handy.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the gods are a mercurial bunch. And as much as Kaldheim's denizens want to be recognized for their amazing feats, it would also really suck to be at their mercy. Okay, let's take a look at another realm. So this is Axgard. This is the home of the
Axgard.
dwarves.
Do you think they have axes?
And yes, before you ask, you may see a card, Jimmy.
Okay, great.
This is Call the Forge Master.
Dwarves. They make axes.
And it also comes in this great showcase frame.
Yeah, that is epic. That looks like it could be a freaking movie poster. I love it.
All right, so next up we have
return it to
not
hand.
fold.
Equipped creatures get +1,
This is
+1.
the realm of the trolls, and some trolls fall asleep for a long time and almost become part of the landscape, but they are terrifying when they wake up. So let's take a look at one of those.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is
troll
old
world.
growth troll.
This guy looks like he did not want to get woken up.
Green, 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 4/4 trample.
he's
when
having-
it
he
dies,
woke up on the
return to
wrong side of the
battlefield. If it's
fjord.
an enchantment, enchant force,
I love
enchant
it.
force has tap for 2
All right,
green.
so I
sacrifice
mentioned
a
there
land,
are
create a
10
fo-
realms, so let's go through some more. So Karfell has Draugr, which are like undead
Imagine wanting to
Viking
know what the
zombies.
cards do.
Next up is Immersturm, which has demons that, if you look closely, their horns kind of resemble those horns on pop culture Viking hats.
Oh, yeah,
Demon
nice
land.
detail.
Istfell is the realm of the spirits, which is where you go when, let's say, you don't die gloriously in battle.
Spirit land.
And on the inverse, we have Starnheim, which is the home of the Valkyries, who will come down and swoop onto a battlefield and
Angel
pick up
land.
anyone who's died gloriously, performing an epic feat.
Excellent.
Surtland is the home of the giants, and we have two
Giant
kinds
land.
of giants here. There are both fire giants and frost giants. Now we see Lidyara, which is the shapeshifter
They
realm.
love feet,
Wait,
don't
I'm
they,
sorry,
Annabella?
shapeshifter? I did not expect that. Can we see some cards?
Totally, yeah. Let's take a look at Masked Vandal. The shapeshifters on Kaldheim wear wooden, intricately carved masks to hide their true form.
That's cool. I love this art here and the effect, of course. Pretty good for Commander.
Okay.
And finally, we have Skemfar, which is the realm of the elves. Elves were once gods on Kaldheim.
Elves were
but they
once
were defeated
gods.
a long time ago and split into 2 clans. So in the set, we're going to see 2 different kinds of elves.
Can you imagine
the
God
Wood
Legolas?
Elves and the Shadow Elves.
Oh, this is perfect. I'm just beginning to build an elf ball deck, so maybe there's something in here good for my Commander deck?
Sure, I mean, how about a card that pumps your elves?
That's perfect.
Let's take a look at Elvish War Master. And check out the extended art on this one.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay.
Wow, this is so cool. I mean, we've seen all of the realms. I gotta know, do they interact with each other?
They do. The realms are constantly moving and shifting around the world tree. And they can even collide in this epic event called a Doomscar, which smashes different realms together. It causes earthquakes, destabilization, just total chaos.
Wow, chaos. That sounds right up my alley. I mean, I can't wait to dive into this world. It's so exciting. 10 new realms, brand new races. You haven't outdone yourselves.
There's so much here to love, and honestly, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Yeah, and thank you so much for walking us through all of these realms, as well as for everyone out there watching. It's always a pleasure, Cynthia.
Anytime, Jimmy. Thank you so much for having me.
Poggers.
Okay,
I mean,
before we dive any deeper, we did something really cool with metal bands and preview cards, and we've got our good friend Don Maddock here to tell us more about it. So check it out.
Jimmy, I am so excited for this set. If you don't know, I'm a huge heavy metal fan and I love Magic. And this is the best of both worlds. It's like nothing we've ever done before, and I've been banging my head against the wall for years to try and get something like this to happen. To kick things off, we got to work with some of my favorite heavy metal bands, and we got to talk to them about storytelling,
this
music,
guy's eyes
magic,
are just
and we even
piercing
got
me.
Cards on the way. Super cool. I think you guys are gonna love it. It's time to check out some heavy metal magic.
We are Angra,
Smolder,
Rhapsody of Fire,
Proximity, guys.
Bomb of Mars.
Social distancing, please.
So the new Magic set, Kaldheim, is surely the most metal set they've ever released.
I mean,
and of course, they need a proper metal band to help.
And what about
introduce
Meridian?
It, and that's us.
Had a lot of metal. They literally had a set called Metalcraft, with Metalcraft as a
There's
mechanic.
definitely a connection between the fantasy and the heavy metal and the world of Magic cards.
There's a huge collection.
Oh, look at that guy. He has a. Oh, we're going back over his collection. We're getting into his collection. That's gonna happen. I saw a lot of red cards.
I also like the picture on that.
So we have like this very like intimate
Mind
relationship
twist.
with Michael Whelan. Michael Whelan has also
Throwback.
done artwork for Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, then the Last Named Dragon had his art on it, and was, I believe, one of the first promo cards with this kind of, special guest artist.
Kaldheim is about Vikings meet metal, epic tales and stories. So naturally, they asked us to preview a card.
That's our world. We live there. So yeah, and also I'm part Viking, as you can see by my chest and my sword and the little bit of rosacea that I have on both cheeks.
And the card is Showdown of the
We've
Skulls.
seen this.
The modal DFCs are coming back in Kaldheim.
It's Kaya the Inexorable. She's a ghost assassin.
Ooh,
She's a planeswalker. She's
cute
black.
makeup.
It's totally metal.
We get to show you a super rad card. Check out Halvor, God of Battle.
Realm Walker.
Old content.
Heroes. Magda, Brazen.
They woke me up for
She's
old
a dwarf
content.
who's like
Cringe.
sturdy. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us.
Stay metal.
All right, that's pretty awesome. What does everyone think about Kaldheim so far? Pretty cool, right?
When are you gonna throw the axe?
Right, the axe. Actually, I had another idea. I've been waiting to tell you guys about this, but I had it especially made.
True story. I know how to throw
I'm
an
part
axe.
of the band, baby.
No, this.
Nice, we're matching. Okay, so how
Jimmy,
about
you
practice?
can't be in our
Sick
band.
Guitar solo? Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. Okay.
No.
Let me get out my whip.
No.
Ride, my Mustang.
He's trying to get out his whip, guys. Stop
Don't look
him.
Too much. It's mine, okay? All right.
Stop him.
Yeah, I get it. You're jealous. It's cool. Don't worry about it. All right.
TOS.
All right, you guys ready to rock? Let's do this thing.
Hey.
Sorry, someone's calling me. Just give me a second.
I don't remember
sorry
the
to
last
interrupt.
30
Yeah,
seconds.
no worries. I was just jamming out with the band. You know, my best buds.
That's cool and all, but I think everyone's here to hear about the new set and not hear you play some air guitar.
Wow, you know what? I think you're right. Okay, hey, take 5, everybody. I'll be right back. Your star member. Me. Maybe. All right, Mike, I can't wait to hear more about the mechanics of the set. So I think we should start with returning mechanics. What can you tell us?
First up, we're bringing back Modal DFCs.
Yeah!
Modal
Love
DFCs!
it.
Yeah, and we really wanted to make sure they hit the theme of Kaldheim and just bring out the best of that Viking world. So let's take a look at a few of the Modal DFCs in the set.
Ooh, we have the 2 lands again.
Yeah, the pathway lands are back. They're so easy because if you need green mana, you play the green side. If you need blue mana, you play the blue side. It's exactly what you want when you need it.
And not just that, but I can see that we have amazing borderless frames as well for all of us Commander aficionados that have to just have the nicest looking cards. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I totally love these borderless lands. They just show off the world.
Those
of
are
Kaldheim
gorgeous.
So beautifully. Our players love them in Zendikar Rising.
I'm
We knew
IRLing
we needed
these.
to bring back the additional 4.
I'm gonna have
so
a
we
binder full
all
of them.
10 pathway lands now.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna make a
great, and they
binder of
all look
nothing but
amazing.
these.
Okay, so are there any
Nothing
other
but the
Modal
Azorius
DFCs
one.
that you can tell us about?
Here, let's take a look at Alrund, God of the Cosmos.
This is a modal
Ooh.
double-faced card. On the front side, it's Alrund, God of the Cosmos. 3 blue for a 1/1 legendary creature, God.
Imagine
Alrund
reading the
gets
cards.
+1/+1 for each card in your hand, and each foretold card you own in exile. At the beginning of your end step, choose a card type, then reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put all cards of the chosen type into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. On the other side, it's Haka, Whispering Raven. 1 in the blue for a 2/3 legendary creature, Bird, flying. Whenever Haka, Whispering Raven deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand, then scry 2.
All Modal DFCs in Kaldheim are legendary gods on the front, a permanent on the back.
Not bad.
Nice.
You know, one of the awesome things about Haka, when it does combat damage, it comes back to your hand. So you can hit them with Haka a few times, and then Alrund will come out, your hand will be loaded up, and you'll be ready to go.
That's great, and I love the thematic tie-in here. Alrund has 1 eye and a cosmic raven, so seems like some keen-eyed players.
He's
can
a
figure out
one-eyed
who that-
raven, guys.
Who that is
Yeah,
inspired by.
You get it?
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, check out this awesome showcase Viking frame. We really love how it's showing off the knot work. We think our players are going to love this.
Yeah, I definitely love it. You all have 10 realms to display here, and it's cool to see it in 2 different kinds of art as well. Now, I did hear from a little raven that the sagas are coming back, and that I'm really excited about.
Jimmy
Yeah,
talks
they
to
are
ravens,
coming back.
confirmed.
They felt right at home here in Kaldheim with its epic legends, its Viking stories. And it's really cool because some of the arts from the sagas are actually hand-carved pieces of art. Here, let's take a look at one. This is Binding the Old Gods.
2, a black and a green for an enchantment saga. As the saga enters and after your draw step, add a lore counter. Sacrifice after 3. 1.
What?
Destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. 2. Search your library for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield tapped,
okay.
then shuffle your library.
It's okay.
3. Creatures you control gain death touch until end of turn. Wow. It's multicolored, the first of its kind in the sagas. And look at this. I mean, I don't even know what to look at.
Dorian.
Awesome hand-carved wooden painting, or the amazing effects that this has as a saga.
Yeah, you get to play with a gorgeous magic card and be destroying your opponent's permanents. That's what I call a 2-for-1.
Yeah, that is exactly that.
He calls that a
well,
2
that's
for 1,
great.
chat.
This seems so perfectly thematic for Kaldheim. Is there anything else that we can spoil today?
Yeah, speaking of perfect things for Kaldheim, we're also bringing back the snow mechanic.
Woohoo, let it snow. Well, in that case, are we getting any new
Snow.
snow basics?
We sure are. Let's check them out. Let's take a look at this new snow frame we're introducing. Every snow permanent
Look at
from
the
now
new
on
snow
will
frame,
use it.
guys.
This is cool. It makes me feel like when I play the card, it's actually going to be literally cold. So that's amazing.
Yeah,
Literally
and,
a cold card.
It says
OMG.
here, I'm supposed to make a bad snow
They're pretty
pun
cool.
about how cool these new cards are.
Oh boy. Okay. I you know what, Mike? I think we get the drift.
In addition to these, snow basics, we also have some new snow duels to show you. And these are at common, and you get them in the land slot of a pack.
Oh my gosh, snow dual lands, they look great. And like you said, they have that little frosted effect around them as well. Okay, is there anything else snow-related that I should snow?
Boy, that was a bad joke, Jimmy. Are you sure you have the most recent version of the script?
Let me check. Unfortunately,
Insulting the
yes, I
script.
do.
The fourth
Yeah.
wall.
And
They're
another
breaking
fun
the
thing
fourth
we are
wall.
doing with Kaldheim is for the first time, you'll be getting snow instants and snow sorceries. Let's take a look at Frostbite to show you what I mean.
Snow instant.
And we also have this cool promo version.
Snow Instant. Frostbite deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, it deals 3 damage instead. Wow, this looks great. Wow, a Snow Instant. I never
not
thought
any
I
good.
would see that on a card. Okay,
Trash card.
before we keep going, I think it's time to warm up. And you know what that means, Mike? It's time for a heavy metal interlude. Let's go!
Remember, guys, red burn spells, if it doesn't go face, there is no place. Are they always this cringy on pre-release shows? No, it's a new content strategy from like the last year or so. It's definitely the new normal.
That means it's time for me to learn about the new and returning mechanics on Kaldheim. Mike, what can you tell us?
First off, we have 2 new mechanics. The first mechanic is called Boast. It does what
Boast.
Vikings love to do best.
Oh,
Attack
my new that's
and
new.
boast about it.
Yeah,
That sounds
boast.
very fitting.
Yeah, and it's so much fun in gameplay. Let's take a look at Vargoth,
much fun to
Blood
boast.
Sky Sire.
2 in the black for a 2/3 legendary creature, Demon Rogue. It's got Death Touch. It also has Boast. Pay 1 in the black. Target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. Activate this ability only if this creature attacked this turn and only once each turn.
All you have to do to get Vargoth to boast is attack with him. It's great because he's a 2/3 with Death Touch, so you're going to want to attack anyhow. But when you do, you can pay 2 mana and you get to tutor for a card.
Wow, or you can
And
have
put it on
another
top of
player
your
tutor.
deck,
And
where a
because it's
rogue's
legend,
deck
we
can
also
mill
have
it.
this really sweet showcase frame. This is as metal as it gets.
Yeah, I totally love the showcase frame. Each legendary creature
Uh,
in Kaldheim has this
yeah, it's
awesome
okay.
metal showcase frame. It looks super stunning. I love that knotwork treatment.
Yeah.
It's as metal as Magic's ever been.
You are
Just
as
like a
metal as
typical
Magic's
Viking
ever
boasting
been.
about their achievements. All right, Mike, what is the other new mechanic in the set?
Another huge part of being Viking is this idea of prophecies and omens, and we really wanted to capture that with the new Foretell mechanic. Let's take a look at Sorulf's Packmate.
3 and a green for a 3/3 creature wolf. When Serap's Packmate enters the battlefield, draw a card. Foretell, 1 and a green. During your turn, you may pay 2 generic mana and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost.
A 3/3 creature for 4 mana that draws you a card. I already love it.
Yeah.
But
I
even
already
better,
love
with
it.
Foretell, you can exile it from your hand for 2 mana, and on a later turn, pay its Foretell cost. So 2 mana on one turn, and then 1G. Later on, you foretold Sorulf's Packmate, you get a 3/3, you get a card. It's as good as it gets.
That's great.
It's
you know,
as
as
good as
Magic
it gets,
players, we're
guys.
always
You
looking
heard
to be
it
as
here
efficient
first.
with our mana as possible, and this is great. You're foretelling a prophecy, and then it's coming true, and in this case, drawing you a card.
Yeah, I totally love that. And to help make it easier for you to track, we've included a Foretell Helper card that you
Aw.
can foretell your cards onto.
They
Oh,
care
very
about
nice. So we
your
just have
paper
creatures as
magic
foretell
habits.
cards?
No, we've done instants and sorceries with Foretell also. That's a lot of fun because, especially with instants, if you foretold them, it's like you have a little secret that your opponent doesn't know about.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to
You have a
foretell
secret,
something
chat?
and then have your opponent fall right into your prophecy.
I have
That's
a
great.
secret,
Okay,
chat. I'm not going to tell my opponent. Oh! Broke the stream!
Well, can
That's
we
the
see
secret.
any of
That's
these
the
flashy
secret.
cards?
Yeah, let's take a look at Alrun's Epiphany.
5 blue for a sorcery. Create 2 1/1 blue bird creature tokens with flying. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Alrun's Epiphany. It also
Okay.
has Foretell for 4 blue. During your turn, you may pay 2 generic mana and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its
Nexus
Foretell
of Fate. This
It's
is
one of
not.
the 5 mythic rare foretell cards in Kaldheim. And once again, you set
Guys,
it
they
aside for 2
reprinted
mana,
Nexus of
but on
Fate.
the later turn, pay 6 mana, and you get 2 birds and taking an extra turn.
That's a pretty darn good rate when it comes to extra turns and 2 birds in the sky.
2
Wow, this is
birds?
great. And this borderless version that I'm seeing here looks
2
amazing as well.
birds?
I love just how much flavor is going into this. It's so great. You're exiling this card, you're foretelling a prophecy, and then bam, out of nowhere, something epic happens.
Yeah, totally. And I love that borderless version. There's 5 mythic foretell mythics, and each one features the borderless frame and new artwork.
Yep, well, I'm definitely going to collect as many of these as possible because the flavor as well as the art.
As many as
instant.
possible.
I
How
love it.
many do you think
I
Jimmy
foresee
freaking Wong can collect?
You being a big fan of these cards.
Wow,
my
you did
God,
that.
I can't even-
And I listened to it, and now everybody has to suffer through it. All right, thanks, Mike. Really appreciate you walking through all of the new and returning mechanics in Kaldheim. I got to get back to it, but we'll see you around.
Bye, Jimmy.
See ya.
I predict you're going to
man,
be
talk about
a
some
big
cool
fan of
mechanics.
these cards.
Throw the axe, Jimmy.
Axe, yeah, axe. I'm not nervous and ready to do this. Oh. Okay, boom, got the axe. Why are there a bunch of magic cards here? Are these my magic cards?
Hit the bullseye, Jimmy.
Ah, okay, yeah, no problem. Oh man,
I can
why
throw
is
an
it
axe.
so heavy? Oh gosh. Oh, it's actually sharp. Oh,
It's
no.
not hard.
Okay, I'm definitely ready to. Oh my
It's
gosh.
not hard. It takes
Someone's
confidence
calling me? No way.
and
How
commitment.
convenient.
That's all.
Thank goodness. Hey, can you hold this? Yeah. These pants are super tight.
Oh my God.
Oh, Matt
nerds.
Tabak called. Missed it. Ooh, but he did leave a voicemail.
Of course.
Just gonna check this.
Sure
right
you are.
here.
Yeah. Hey Jimmy, it's Matt Tabak calling. Look, I guess you're busy. I thought we were gonna do the Kaldheim Booster Fun thing for the video. Looks like you're not there. No problem. If you're tied up for the rest of the day, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave all the information on the message here. All right, Jimmy, we've got some really fun stuff in store. Now, as you've already seen, the new showcase.
No,
stream
he's on the
based
line.
on Viking sculptures.
That's the
and
script.
metal
He's on the
coasters.
line right now.
Most of the legends in Kaldheim get to rock this look, and it is one of the coolest things we've ever done.
Hey, how long is this gonna take?
Shh, I'm on the phone. As you know, we introduced set boosters in Zendikar Rising, and they're back in Kaldheim, along with collector boosters and draft boosters. Draft boosters are still the packs aimed at being the best way to draft and play, and every one of them includes a snowland. We've also done a bit of updating
Free
to the set
Snowland.
boosters so they can show off all the cool elements specific to Kaldheim. And with each one, you have a possibility of opening up 4 rare and or mythic rares in each booster, with a maximum of 3 mythics. So Jimmy, I'm telling you, you've got to check these out. These are the packs curated for a fantastic opening experience. So here is what you can get in a Kaldheim set booster.
Ooh, he's talking about set boosters.
Ooh, set boosters.
He's talking about set boosters.
Guys,
Set
he's-
boosters.
yeah, what the?
Set boosters.
Up first, you're greeted with an art card, unique to set boosters. Now, there are over 80 possibilities that show off this beautiful Viking-inspired world. And there's a
Art
5%
cards.
possibility that your art card will be upgraded to a gold foil stamped version.
I have 3 of those.
Then you have a land card. Now for Kaldheim, this is going to be one of the snow basic lands or one of the cool snow duels. And there's a possibility that that is upgraded to a beautiful icy foil. Then, for something else unique to set boosters, you have a mix of 6 commons and uncommons, and cards within their rarity are connected somehow. They're like stories. You get a story with the commons, and you'll get a different story with your uncommons.
Okay.
Next, let's talk about wildcards.
For the
These
spiky
2 slots
Vorthos in
exist
us
to give
all.
us some fun excitement right in the middle of the pack. And these 2 cards can be anything, from a common right up to a rare or a mythic rare. In fact, they can even
Turn
be
down the
part of your
cringe. Do you know who I
connected
am?
cards. Now you can open up to 1 rare or mythic rare in these 2 slots.
I know what
Then we
wildcards
have the
do. They get me
guaranteed
any
rare
card I
or
want
mythic
on
rare
Arena.
slot.
Easy.
Now, I know what you're thinking, and yes, this slot can be the gorgeous metal Viking showcase treatment, or it can be a borderless card. And then we have the Headturner Slot.
The Headturner
This slot exists to show off some of the cool and unique things about any given set. Now for Kaldheim, it's going to be a snow common, a snow uncommon, a
Wow, a
showcase
snow
uncommon,
common
or
in the
one of
Headturner
the
slot?
unique rares to theme, set, collector boosters, and some of the commander decks. Next up, we have a guaranteed foil, and it can be a rare or mythic rare, or even one of the showcase cards. Lastly, you get a token, ad, or minigame card.
An ad.
Or in one
Give
of
us
every
an
4
ad.
set
Twitch
boosters,
chat
you
needs
get a
the
card
ad.
from the list.
Twitch
Or,
chat
as I said
demands
last
the
time,
ad.
The list. The list is a curated list of 300
God.
cards from our history that we've chosen to show off the cool mechanics. We've slightly updated the list by switching out over 40 cards to set-specific cards aimed to be thematic with Kaldheim. Here, let's take a look at 3 of those cards now. Cavern of Souls, Cold Storage, and Dark Depths.
Whee!
Whew, that was a lot.
Yeah,
The
I'm
important thing to remember,
tired.
set boosters are made to be cracked. So, I guess that's it. I hope the video
They're
shoot is
trying to
going
sell
well.
set
I'm
boosters really hard,
really
guys.
sorry that you didn't answer the phone so I could be a part of it. That would have been fun. But,
Really hard.
It's fine. It's great. Have a great time. See ya.
Man, Matt Tabak, that guy leaves some detailed voice messages, let me tell you.
Throw the axe, Jimmy.
Right, axe throwing, yeah, I can definitely do this.
You can
Okay,
definitely
well,
do
you know
this.
What? If I am gonna do this for you,
Absolutely
for you,
not hard.
and the internet, I may as well make it a little bit harder on myself, you know?
Yep,
here we
yep.
go. Boom, blindfolded, Jimmy Wong.
Easy.
YouTube video, this is great.
Easy.
This is it, right? Y'all ready?
Do it for the clicks, Jimmy.
Here we go.
Do it for the clicks.
Viking!
What the?
Yes, I did it! Oh, I can't think of
Fake
a better
news.
way to end this all. Thank you so much for watching. Look, this set, Kaldheim, it looks awesome. I feel awesome about it. I hope you do too. And we'll see you next time.
They're on a boat. On a boat, gamers. Extensive health precautions, gamers.
Hey, for the BTS this time, mind just using clips where I look cool? Let's start with we do want to hear about this. I gotta get this keep. Ha ha!
But wait, there's more.
The cats have chosen now to wrestle with a toy on screen. Julia, please help.
Great face, great face. I know, it's not metal, just smile, bro. Yeah.
Did the doorknob just fall? Yeah, of course.
How did the doorknob fall off? Why are we still going?
Oh, hey, you're still here.
Why?
Well, since you've stuck around for so long, how about you just get to see one more card?
We've all seen it, brah. We've all seen it, brah. Bruh. It's real. Real card. Located. Oh, did we do it? Did we make it, guys? You know the Cool Kids Club stays till the end. Up next, MTG Original Decks. Shout out. Inadvertent, but shout out nonetheless. All right. It's time. We did it. We survived whatever the hell that was. How's it going, boys? So we got to look out the new cards. Let's tear this sucker to pieces. Why not? So, first things first, Mute. Epic play. Probably the play of the day, if I'm being real. That was... They are leaning into the cringe in a way that makes me cringe. That's probably a problem in the long run. I don't know. First of all, I was told that this t-shirt was an original. I'm a little disappointed to see that just everybody has it now. I thought I was in the band. I even rocked out in solidarity because that's what you do for your metal brethren. But you know. All right, so we're talking. We have cards. So Kaya was revealed a while ago. If you haven't seen Kaya yet, this is a +1 to put a ghost form counter on one non-token creature. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile. Return it from the owner's hand and create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. It's a 5 mana, 5 loyalty planeswalker, -3, exile a non-land permanent, -7, you get an emblem, blah, blah, blah. Legendary spell from graveyard, etc. Most of you have seen this card. I still think this card is pretty good. Pretty cool card. Skyclave Apparition, Yorion. Cards are going to love playing around with this card. But most of us have seen that. Now, what the heck am I looking at here? So, this is Nico Aris. White, blue, X. So, it has the casting cost of Sphinx's Revelation, one of the all-time greatest blue and white cards, but on a planeswalker, and it has 3 loyalty. When Nico enters the battlefield, create X shard tokens, +1, up to 1 target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Whenever that creature deals combat damage this turn, return it to its owner's hand. That ability sounds bad, quite frankly. Like why would you want your unblocked creature to come back to your hand? Am I reading that right? So I don't know, man. It already feels like I read that and I'm like, that ability seems really poor to me. Now, some people are like, Skyclave Apparition. There's a huge difference between returns to the battlefield and returns to hand. If you have to cast the Apparition again, that's so much mana. Plus, you have to put mana into Nico. Like you're saying that yes, you get advantages from an unlimited mana situation, but that's not how Magic works. You only have so much mana, and you have to do the best thing you can with it. Plussing 1 to deal 2 damage, bounce Apparition, and have to cast it again. Doesn't sound good to me. Anyway, -1, 2 damage to target tapped creature for each card you've drawn this turn. 2 damage to target tapped creature for each card you've drawn this turn. Sort of defends itself. The creatures have to attack first. Notably, cannot hit something with vigilance. A Linden, a Speaker of the Heavens, a Questing Beast can avoid that. Usually, dealing damage to tapped creatures is very conditional removal, so it definitely does not strike me as a good ability. So -1 is create a shard token. Now this is the weird part. What's a shard token? Why are you guys asking me? I don't know. Imagine revealing cards and not knowing what they would do. So they did this with Oko, right? Back up in time is back here. Go back. Meow. I'm used to mobile where I just click here and it goes back. Where's my shard token? It's in the original card. Okay. Did we find it? Okay. Shard tokens are enchantments with 2, sacrifice an enchantment to scry 1 and draw a card. Sacrifice this enchantment to scry 1 and draw a card. They're clues. They're better clues. Why did we have to make clues better? So if you weren't around for Shadows over Innistrad, clues was 2 mana artifacts. Like clues were artifacts that you created from doing various things, and for 2 mana you could sacrifice them to draw a card. This is a 2 mana token enchantment that you can sacrifice to scry 1 and draw a card. Strictly better. right? Unless you have artifact payoffs from the clues, but on its own, strictly better. Why? Huh. Crazy. They are enchantments, not artifacts. Wow, you guys are straight up detectives in chat. Good job. It's not like I said that. Yes, they're enchantments, not artifacts. Give yourselves a 5-head. All right. There are things that work with enchantments. I mean, Setessan Champion Constellation just got mentioned. That makes sense, but those things still haven't been good enough, you know? They still haven't been quite good enough. All that glitters. Yeah, okay. It's definitely some things. I mean, it could work. There's a world where this kind of works, right? Scar Knight, thank you very much. But yeah, it is important to know they are enchantment creature type. Archon, yep, Archon of Sun's Grace. Anything with the keyword constellation. Can we just agree that this is good with Constellation? This is good with Theros. Now that still hasn't been good enough yet. Like, those cards have been lacking something, so it needs help. And I don't think this is quite it. It's not terrible, though. I like that it creates a board set presence. I like that, like, for all, like, if you have a turn where you're playing this and it's not going to easily die, then you create a bunch of future advantage and you have this thing sitting on the board that's annoying, right? That's kind of good. The opponent has to remove it or they have to worry about the abilities. The abilities aren't great. They're situational. But if they don't kill it at all, it just creates 3 more shards in addition to what it made on the way in. It's a good card advantage machine. It's a bad, how would you put it? It's a bad tempo play. It's very slow. And it eats your whole turn in most scenarios. It eats your whole turn. But it's not bad. Like, there's plenty of, like, other cards that eat your whole turn, you know, and usually don't affect the board. Just all these cards in blue-white. So, it's not bad. It's interesting. We're going to play with it. We're going to see what happens. It's bad. No. I don't think it's bad. I do agree there are definitely metas where you can't play this card. Like, hi, my opponent plays Lovestruck Beast. Okay, I untap. I play Nico. Opponent untaps. Great henge. Now I get cards for free. Congratulations. You can make some shards. You can pay 2 mana to scry and draw. But I'm going to draw cards for free while playing threats, you know? Like, this is not good against Gruul. This is not good against Great Henge. This is not good against Embercleave. Thanks, Eldraine, for what you've done to Magic the Gathering. But that doesn't mean the meta will always be that way. Does that make sense? So we'll see. It's not a bad card. It might be outclassed by meta, but it's not a bad card. I like it's an interesting space too. Planeswalkers with an X. I like shards. Now that I know what they are, shards are sweet. This is a kind of effect I love in Magic. I just hope it's not too slow, because that would be sad. All right. So they show us abs a lot here. They don't show us a card. Thanks for that. That's cool. We just get this art to just kind of sit there, and some chick talks about his gym membership. Good stuff. Real talk there. Yeah, that the WWE Championship belt around the elf's waist. JKL keys are your friend? Really? That works. Bong. All right, cool. Look at me, guys. Real YouTuber learning how to use YouTube on a PC. So I never watch YouTube on my computer except when I'm streaming. I watch it on an iPad. My bad. All right. Tybalt. Let's get into Tybalt. This is the front. Okay. Valky, God of Lies, which transforms into Tybalt, so it was always Tybalt or something. I don't know. 1 in a black, mythic, 2/1 legendary creature god. When Valky enters the battlefield, each opponent reveals their hand. For each opponent, exile a creature card they reveal this way until Valky leaves the battlefield. Choose a creature card, exiled with Valky. With converted mana cost X, it becomes a copy of the card. It's also a modal DFC. So, in case you're not tired of reading Future Tybalt, we've got a whole other side to look at. This says it's the front, by the way. It's a little text in the bottom. Claims to be front. Wait. Why can't I has? There we go. All right. Tybalt. Cosmic Imposter is 5 and a black-red. 7 mana for a Tybalt Planeswalker. That is so freaking much. As Tybalt enters the battlefield, you gain an emblem with, you may play cards exiled with Tybalt, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. And remember, we exiled cards from each opponent, or an opponent in competitive Magic. +2, exile the top card of each player's library, which means you can cast them, as long as Tybalt is around. Oh, no, you get an emblem. You may play cards exiled with Tybalt, and you get an emblem just for playing it. Okay, Tybalt does not have to be around. Tybalt, you can cast the cards that you exile with Tybalt, whether it's alive or not, because you get the emblem. You may play cards. That is also a factor. You may play their lands. You may play their lands, gamers. -3, exile an artifact or creature, and then you may play it. Just putting that out there. Because you exiled it with Tybalt, you may then play it. So you play this, you exile their Great Henge, you play it. You play this, you exile their Embercleave, you play it. You play this, you exile their Questing Beast, you play it. All right. Not bad. Not bad. -8, exile all cards from all graveyards, add triple red. That means you basically wipe all the graveyards, and guess what you can do after you've exiled all the cards from all the graveyards? Ladies and gentlemen of the dojo, do you have any idea what you can do after you do that? That's right, you play it. That's right, you play it. This is... Oh my goodness. This card feels like it should be a bolus. Right? Feels like it should be a bolus Planeswalker. Expensive? It's not though, right? Because you just play it as a 2-drop. Like, if you can't afford to play it, you play the 2-drop, right? And it's actually sweet that it exiles a creature card instead of like a Duress or a Kite Sail Freebooter, which would hit a non-creature. Because what's most likely to pick on this card right now are the adventure cards, right? So hitting an adventure card with this is really, like, you got to hit their Bone Crusher Giant. You have to hit their Brazen Borrower. Those are the things that mess with you. Yes, this can be your Commander fans. Wow. Why are we doing the meme, chat, though? Why are we doing the meme? Guys, oh my god, they printed a card. It's black and red. Grixis is good again. Are you serious? Grixis is never good. You know that. You know that. It only takes one card, and Grixis just... People, like, pog over Grixis. Oh, no, I said pog again. Poggies. Poggers. Pepe Frogs. All right. Grixis. I mean, people love Grixis. What can you say? What is the front? So this down here says back. And this says front. So they provided very helpful information on the screen for those of us with the burning questions. The good news is we just kind of, you know, yeah, I don't know. I like the cheaper card on the front, I guess. It makes it harder to cheat the Tybalt directly into play, right? The official fest is still happening. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure they're on there talking a lot. So in the past, we've turned off the official channel when they're done with their kind of hype pre-recorded show. And when it becomes 4 talking heads talking about Magic in extremely lame fashion, that's in some people's opinions, lame fashion. That's when I start talking. So what do you guys want? You want me to check on the talking heads? I am at your service. We can check on the talking heads, or we can go over these cards. Those are the two options. Do you want CGB talking, or do you want talking heads of Wizards of the Coast? All right. Okay. All right. In a stunning development, CGB talking about cards is preferred on the CGB Twitch channel. I know, I blew your mind on that one. All right. Is this card good? I don't think we finished it. You know what I mean? Is this card good? Also, which art is the good art? Oh my gosh, he's torturing somebody in that middle. Look at. Oh my goodness. Ugh. The borderless art, like, he's taking the knife to this dude who's tied to a stake. Tybalt, why you gotta be so mean? I don't know. I'm torn. They're all pretty good, if I'm being real. You know, they're all pretty good. All of them I could picture looking good in foil. Like, good in foil. Can we get CGB talking about 4 talking heads? What is there to talk about? Oh, man. All right. I don't know. This one kind of evokes exactly what I think Tybalt is meant to do, which is make your opponents absolutely miserable. And I think this card does the job. Of course, we have to be skeptical. 7 mana is a ton. So you have to rate this card mostly on the power of this. But most of the time, the biggest downside to a 7 mana card is that you draw it when you can't cast it. It's stuck in your hand, so you just sit there dying while your opponent beats you to death, and you have cards in your hand that do nothing. That will not be the case for Tybalt, because with Tybalt, you can always play this 2/1 creature that exiles a card from the opponent's hand, possibly even turns into that card. So picture like you have 6 mana. You don't have 7, you have 6, but you have to make a play on the board. So you play your Tybalt. You look at the opponent's hand. You see that they have a Kroxa. You exile their Kroxa. You pay 2 mana to turn Valky, God of Lies, into a 6/6 giant. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Kroxa sacks itself. No, it doesn't. This becomes a copy of the card. No trigger. 0 trigger in that situation. And Kroxa dies. You're being chat. You're Papega chat. Stop being bronze. Stop being bronze, chat. Busted being bronze in chat. Imagine. Ba-boom. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's cool stuff you can do. There's some fun things. So, yeah. I'm just saying, you can play this in a lot of ways. It's not stuck in your hand. That's the biggest problem with 7-drops that I don't think people realize. It's not that it takes too long all the time. It's the opportunity cost. Because 7-drops are amazing when you draw them off the top of the deck when you have 7 mana on the field, right? Then a 7-drop is in a great card most of the time. A Craigplate Baloth is a great card when you rip it off the top of your deck and have the mana to cast it. The problem is when they're in your hand and you can't cast them and you need to stay alive. This has an option. 2 mana, if you need to stay alive, if you need board position, if you need to make a play, this is an option to do it. I think that makes this card pretty good. And honestly, this is probably one of the best ways to get cards that are too expensive for standard, like 7-drops or 8-drops, into the format. A really cool way to get over, like, what you would call really expensive cards into competitive Magic. Like, for reals. Another example of stuff like that is like Shark Typhoon, right? It's great because you can cycle it, although it makes a pretty weak body. This isn't a weak body. It's a body that dies easily. But it's not even just this body. It turns into something else. So, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. It gives you an option to cast an otherwise dead card due to the legend rule. That's true as well. If you had a Tybalt on the battlefield, first of all, congratulations, you're winning. But if you draw a second Tybalt, you can cast the God of Lies and have both on the battlefield, and they don't legend rule. That is a very cool, very, very cool. Can you show the Tybalt side? You guys want to go back to Tybalt again? Just want to... Ugin versus this? Well, Ugin would have to -7 to exile it. That's a big problem. That is a big problem. So Ugin's just a trade, whereas Tybalt, you just start getting ahead as soon as you start plussing the card. Remember, you get the emblem. So you play this, you plus it, you exile the top card of each player's library. It's like you drew those cards. You can play them for the rest of the game, whether Tybalt's alive or dead. So then the opponent has to deal with the Tybalt, and you still have access to those 2 cards. That is assuming all you did was the +2, that you didn't exile any cards with any other Tybalts or the God of Lies at any other point in the game. I think. No, it says Tybalt Cosmic Imposter. So maybe the God of Lies, exiling those doesn't matter. Never mind. Forget that part. But yeah, or you just exile target thing. They still have to deal with the Planeswalker, and now you get to cast the thing. Like, it's really good. When it hits the battlefield, that is a takeover epic play. I predict this card is very good. Now, I'm not sure what deck it goes in. It doesn't go in an existing deck. None of the existing decks right now are good for it. So we're looking for a different archetype. And we'll see what happens. I think it's good. I think it's a good deck. Remember Big Red Ugin with Ironcrag feet? You guys remember Big Red Ugin with Ironcrag feet? The first version of that deck that was played in the MPL had black just for Extinction Event. You could involve this in that deck, right? Especially now that you have the pathway. Now that you have the pathway, the mana is actually really good. So that's a good starting point. That's a good starting point, and we'll see where it goes, because obviously the format's going to shift, but that's a good place to go first. All right, what else are we doing in this video? We got a pretty sweet Tybalt. I gotta tell you, people are gonna scoop before that card. Like, if that card comes down on Arena and pluses, and the opponent looks at their hand and can't solve the problem, that is a scoop. That is game over. Your opponents will not play anymore. Yeah, man, we got worlds. Okay, what's this do? 3 and a blue, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, this is Inga Rune Eyes. Scry 3. When it dies, draw 3 cards if 3 or more creatures died this turn. Okay. I'm trying to think of a way to break this. Sounds like too much work. Sounds bad. And then it's like, whoa, look at me. I'm on a boat. Don't you ever forget. All right, this card, not going to lie, saw the leak of this card before it came out. Couldn't avoid it. Somebody shoved it in my face and was like, look at this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this card is insane. This card is insane. 1 white, legendary, human warrior, 2/2, flash, first strike, protection from gods. When Sigrid enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target attacking or blocking creature until Sigrid leaves the battlefield. It's a human, so yes, you hit it with Winota. But even without that, picture how nasty combat becomes. I'm mono red. I attack with my Annex Harden in the Forge and my Robber of the Rich. I flash in my Embercleave. Opponent taps 3 mana, respawns, exiles your Annex with the Embercleave. First strike blocks and kills the Robber of the Rich. Nice game, dude. Three mana, with 2 of it being white. And combat is a nightmare. A nightmare. Not only this, exile up to 1 target attacking or blocking creature. You know what card is really hard for white decks, like decks based on white removal, to deal with? Crawling Barrens. Crawling Barrens. You know what this card obliterates and makes a laughing stock? Crawling Barrens. Got him. Got him. Yeah, it doesn't say non-land, does it? It says creature. Oh, man. This is going to be... Remember Settle the Wreckage? People are going to be thinking about this card every time that there's mana open, and 2 of it's white and 1 of it's another. Like, people are going to be thinking about this card in every combat step, and it's going to cause a lot of feels bads. This card is nuts. Hitting it with Winota, just a 2/2 for a strike. Yeah, that's true. But it does have protection from gods. And you can run it in the Winota deck just as a hit. That's also a removal spell. Not that bad, to be honest. Not that bad, to be honest. Doesn't sync up great with choosing it, but it's better than whiffing. Control. So the biggest thing against this deck for sure is that it's the biggest thing against this card is that it's legendary, because this has the old text, right? The old text of as long until Sigurd leaves the battlefield. So if you draw multiples, it's pretty dead, because if you legend rule it, they get back the creature you exiled. That's ugly. And that's what's going to keep the card, I think, from being easy 4 of. There might still be spots in metas where it is easy 4 of, but I think it's like probably 2 of, more likely. So that's something to keep in mind. I think it's pretty insane, but it's probably 2 of. Because it clowns itself too hard if you have multiples. We'll have to see how it does. It's really bad versus control. It's not really bad. Like, you flash something, like a control deck is like, well, they don't have anything. I'm going to play a Maze Mind Tome or something. You flash it in. You throw a Sky Maul on it. You hit them hard. Like, flash threats are fine against control, even when they're bad bodies. They're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's a lot better than having, like, Swift Response in your hand or Glass Casket in your hand against control, right? Right. Also, it's really sweet that we have 1 and a white coming when we also have the pathway, so that we can cast this and we can cast Counterspell and Baron, and our mana's a lot better than it used to be. Yeah, like Borrower with nothing to bounce is still good. Yep, exactly. Azorius Flash becomes a thing. Well, what do we have? We have Brazen Borrower, and we have this. It's a good start. I need a flash card that's really powerful, and I don't say Thyrix the Sudden Storm. I guess Shark Typhoon. By the way, get your Kaldheim Shark Typhoon frickin' token from CoolStuffInc.com. If you're going to play with Shark Typhoon, you better have the right token. Plug. CoolStuffInc.com. Pre-order Kaldheim. All right. So this card is nice, and it's going to make you feel bad if you don't prepare for it. Start getting in your head right now that 2/2 first strike, that flash, and that exile ability, that's going to blow out some good-looking attacks. Like red mages that turn things sideways, they're going to lose some sleep, and nothing makes me happier. This guy. Social distancing, dude. It's so intense. So intense. Any mention of mobile? We had 0 day 9 in this announcement, actually. Oh my lord. All right, these guys okay. Look at this dude. Literally from a band called Rhapsody of Fire. What color do you think he plays? Yep. It's mono red. I skipped the troll card. I'll go back. It's mono red. Okay, I might have to go through this like frame by frame then, right? Because these cards were so freaking fast, right? Let's see. I'm talking. We're talking. This guy's yelling. He's yelling. He's intense. He's scaring me. He's yelling. Okay. We are metal bands. We make loud music, and it's awesome. I don't know if you knew that. We play guitar. The 80s lives forever. Yep. Okay. Are you sure I skipped the troll, or are you messing with me? It was before the bands? No, I didn't miss cards before the bands. Did they really show them that quick that by skipping 5 seconds I missed them? Really? That's how fast? Oh my God, that's how fast this was. I am moving 5 seconds at a time. They didn't even put the cards on the screen for 5 freaking seconds. Guys, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hello, good game. Thanks for the raid. 28 gamers in the house. So this card's interesting, right? Exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls with Changeling. With Changeling, guys. How do we fill our graveyard these days? Just playing Magic? I think if you're hoping for that, okay, rogues. We hate rogues, right? But that's the weird thing. Like, we don't care about artifacts and enchantments against rogues. So, how do we fill our graveyard? Are we just hoping there's something there? Because without it, we're a 3-mana tribal 1/3. That's usually not good enough. It's usually not good enough. Whether or not this card gets played is definitely going to depend on context. We need to see a lot more cards. And we need to know a little context of the format. Like, are we blowing up Great Henge with this? Or are we blowing up that new pod card? I don't know. All right. Am I going to find the frickin'... We'll just hit play. You scammed me into watching your content again because you showed the cards so fast I can't even find them by going 5 seconds at a time. You missed some. God. Suck it, chat. All right. No, I didn't. I didn't miss any. Wrong. Not further back. At 1821, that's... What? What are you talking about? Rip the guy who put all the cards in Discord. You know, that's a fine idea. That's a fine idea. We don't have to watch the video to find it. That's a fine, fine idea. All right. Our Discord has a Kaldheim channel where people put the cards. Big brain. Plug my own Discord. Show cards at same time. All right. Old Growth Troll. Green, 4/4, trample, troll, warrior. When Old Growth Troll dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield. If it's an aura enchantment with Enchant Forest you control, and Enchanted Forest has tap for 2 green, and 1 and a tap, sacrifice this land, create a 4/4 green troll warrior creature token with trample. So, it's a 3-mana 4/4 trample. It dies. You get to turn 1 of your lands into a double green. And at any time, you can pay 1 and tap to sacrifice that double green land. And you make a 4/4 token. It's not a copy of this, so it doesn't have the same ability. It's just a token that has the similar abilities. And you can do it at instant speed. You can do it at instant speed. That is pretty sweet. So, for example, say that you have mana untapped and it gets blowed up. Then you sacrifice the land, create a 4/4 tap token. So you can do it on end step, right? Yeah, you can't use it to block. Who blocks? This isn't a card for blocking. What the hell is the matter with you guys? No. I'm talking about they shatter the sky, you draw a card, you put this on a land, you sacrifice the land, you bring it back, and then you untap and attack again. So they can't blow it, they can't destroy it if you have 2 mana open. If you have 2 mana open. Yep. Also makes it easy to get your Great Henge down because you have access to a 4/4 all over the place. Yep. So you don't get caught with 7, 8, 9 mana Henge in your green deck. It's pretty good. Pretty good. What is this good with? definitely, it might not be good enough, because I'm find myself constantly wondering, like, how good is it with Yorvo and things like that. Oven, I guess with Oven, right, you're protected from exile. You know what I mean? The exile thing is painful. So yeah, I think the easy thing to do is try a few of these in mono green food. The question about mono green food and whether or not you run this, like, you already have Mammoth, you already have Lovestruck Beast. Is it better than that? Only in some matchups, maybe, but probably not most of the time. Probably not most of the time. Also, somebody mentioned Yorion. I have to mention Yorion. If this dies and returns to the battlefield as an enchantment and you flicker it with Yorion, it comes back as the troll. Poggers. It has 0 synergy with food. No, it doesn't. Momentum, king of the cold take. King of the cold take here on new card day. Let's see. Yep, the Oven protects it so you can get food by sacrificing it so that it doesn't get exiled. And then you have the ability to make the land, and it also ramps you right into Troll King, right? So if you play this on 3, and you have an Oven, so your first turn is Oven, your second turn is whatever, your third turn is this, and the opponent plays Skyclave Apparition, and you throw this in the Oven, and you enchant your land. Now that taps for double green on turn 4. So green, green, and 1, 2, and then you play Castle Garenbrig and you play Troll King, and you're a champion. You're king of the world. You did it. Opponent is now crying in the corner. Their life is over. Good times. Selesnya Yorion, yeah, that'll be fun too. Put it in Grixis. Yeah. Of course. Why didn't I think of Grixis? All right. Let's look at some more stuff. Call the Forge Master. Red and a white, 2/2. Legendary creature, dwarf warrior. We're looking for the good dwarfs because Mangara is already really good. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, if it was enchanted or equipped, return it to its owner's hand. Creature tokens you control that are enchanted or equipped get +1/+1. Something for the non-tokens, something for the tokens. Is this any good? I'm looking for the auras, man. Where are the good auras? Where are them auras at? I don't know. Auras are usually cheap. Equipment's usually expensive. If it's enchanted or equipped, return it to owner's hand. I mean, I guess that's really annoying. Like, you put the Embercleave on the creature, they kill the creature, you get the creature back. It's also... It turns Embercleave into a save spell. So you like the opponent tries to kill your creature, you flash an Embercleave, you equip it, and you get the creature back. Oh no. That's a feels bads, man. That's a feels bads. Embercleave, just when you thought it did enough, now it also saves a creature. Okay. Creature tokens you control that are enchanted or equipped get +1/+1. Where are these creature tokens that are enchanted or equipped? Has anybody seen one? Does anybody have an enchanted creature token that's, or an equipped creature token? You seen one anytime soon? Stop saying Nahiri. The card's not good. Oh my god, say Nahiri more. So many people play it. When's the last time you played a Nahiri on ladder? I mean, is it taking over bronze? Huh? Is that where you're fighting your Nahiri mirrors, chat? No, I'm just messing with you. You're right, Nahiri. Yes. I still don't think this makes Nahiri good, though. I don't think it's even close to good enough. Satyrs from Annex. Too much setup, right? So it's got to be something that we don't know. It would have to be a play pattern that we're not used to, right? KKS1236, thank you for the tier 1. It's got to be something we haven't seen yet. Nutcracker, thank you for the prime. All right, let's keep it going. Elves, do we have any elf fans? How do they fit They've got like 5 realms and 10 clans or something. Like, they went way past like Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, didn't they? Like, they have like 1 million realms with like 60 billion clans. I don't know. How do they fit all that in one set? How do they fit all that in a set? Like, remember when we used to do blocks? Oh, come on. All right. Anyway. Elvish Warmaster, 1 in a green, 2/2 elf warrior. Whenever 1 or more elf enters the battlefield under your control, immediately has the romantic times with the Elvish Warmaster, and thus they have a baby elf, aka create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's first right on a card. Elvish Warmaster gets to sleep with every elf that enters the battlefield and have a baby. They are breeding out the other tribes. I'm sorry, was that too much? Was that too much? Did I go too far? Cancel CGB. That was a sex joke. All right. Elves you control gain +2/+2 and gain Death Touch until end of turn for 7 mana. This is Garbo? I don't know. 2 mana 2/2 that makes 1/1s. Like, there is a pedigree for that. Worthy Knight, Hero of Precinct 1, Young Pyromancer. It all depends on the cards around it. Are there good elves? We haven't seen all the elves yet. So, if the elves are good, this card is good. If the elves are bad, this card is bad. So we'll have to chill and wait and see. Like, elves have to be so good that just casting elves every turn is enough. That you don't have to worry about what your opponent is doing. That they're powerful enough to put the opponent on the back foot, or the combo finish is quick enough, like they ramp quick enough, that you don't have to care about what's going on. If that is the case, the card is good and very playable. If it is not the case, probably not good. Easy. It's context. You got to have context. Look at this card. What the heck is this? Alrund, God of the Cosmos, 3 in a blue mythic 1/1. Legendary creature god. Gets +1/+1 for each card in your hand and each foretold card you own in exile. At the beginning of your end step, choose a card type, then reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put all cards of the chosen type into your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. At the beginning of your end step, choose a card type. Reveal the top 2. I choose Insta Sorcery. I don't know. 2 in a blue for the 2/3 flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand, then scry 2. Hate it. Thank you for the $1 donation. Puffle Party, you are epic. Grixis, shut up. So for one thing, playing it as a 2/3, not the worst. A 2/3 flyer. The fact that when you hit your opponent, you have to return it to owner's hand is mostly a drawback. But the good news is if you're on the back foot and being attacked, you can play this as a blocker, and it's a good blocker. Not a bad blocker. So it's a good start. It's okay. It's okay. So then we have to figure out if the 5 mana god is good. +1/+1 for each card in your hand. When you play your 5-drop, how many cards do you have in your hand? Usually not that many at that point. Usually not that many. Foretold, I think that's kind of just a way to put Foretold on this card. I don't know how often we'll have things in the Foretold zone. We would need something kind of broken and amazing to make that happen. Foretold, by the way, is you pay a cost, you exile the card, and then later you can play the card for a lower cost. We've only seen a few Foretold cards so far. I don't think that we're going to be in a world with a bunch of cards in the Foretold zone, to be honest. So we'll see. Depends on what they reveal. So here's the play pattern that you want with the card. All right, this is what you want to do. You want to play the Raven. you'll probably want to play it on like turns. You play the Raven on turn 2, 3, or 4. You just hold it back. Don't attack your opponent. Let it chill. Let it keep your opponent from attacking you a little. Position, right? If you have nothing else to do, you can attack with the Raven, hit, scry 2, then replay the Raven if you have nothing to do with your mana. So on turn 5, that's when you want to attack with the Raven, hit with the Raven, scry 2, so you know at least one or maybe two of the top cards of your deck. You return it to your hand. You cast the God of the Cosmos. You go to your end step. You choose a card type. You reveal the top 2 cards of your library. You know what they are because you scried. Or at least you know one, hopefully. Then you put into your hand. So a lot of setup for a draw 2, kind of maybe. And it sticks around, and it's a body. I don't know, man. I don't know. It is all within one card. It is a play pattern that is completely self-contained in one card. So this is what you have to ask yourself. Can you do better on turn 5? Can you do better on turn 5 with blue? And most decks aren't mono blue, so blue plus something else, right? Can you do better? Probably. Probably a bit better. So I'm not that excited. Is it better than Boomslayer? I mean, it depends what you're up against, right? Boomslayer is better against mono red. This is better against lots of decks that aren't mono red. If you flicker the bird, do you get the front side? I guess you do. But then how do you know the top card of your deck? It's an interesting play pattern. I just don't know if it's going to be good. Seems like we can do better. My instincts say we can do better. I mean, there's a real bad case scenario where like you replay this for 5 mana as a 1/1 after scrying and they just shock it. Because the play is completely face up, right? If you have the Raven, they're not going to just let you like replay this and draw your cards. And if you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, it might be really easy to kill. Like really easy. A Ghidorah, King of the Cosmos, 100% LK. Yeah, there's a fail state for this card, and it's a face-up play. So the opponent, they don't need much to play around it. Do you know what I mean? All right. Binding of the Old Gods. 2 black-green. Destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Search your library for a forest card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. Creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. What's up with the Death Touch? Why are we gaining Death Touch? Why does everybody get Death Touch? Because we bound an old god. Now, did they get the pox? They were all cursed by the god because they bound it? I don't know. The Death Touch part seems weird to me, but if you are playing a defensive deck, maybe you run Mana Dorks. Maybe the Mana Dorks with Death Touch is a good deterrent at that stage in the game. I guess it's okay. Destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. And Chapter 2, search your library for force, put on the battlefield tapped. So, multiple Yorion decks have run Solemn Simulacrum. Solemn Simulacrum plays a 2/2, and then you search your library and you put a land onto the battlefield, and then you flicker it, you get another land. This card, when it hits the battlefield for 4, destroys what the hell ever other than a land, and then the 2 gets you a ramp land. And now you play Yorion, you destroy another thing, and the next turn you get another land, and you're up to 7. And you've got Yorion, and you've destroyed 2 permanents. That play pattern is freaking sweet. So whether you're doing Sultai or Abzan, that is freaking sweet. It's a lot better than like playing a Solemn or playing a Atrice, you know? It's way better than that. Now, it needs support. It can't be the first play that you make. It can't be the first play of the game. But, man, it doesn't take much to make this card good. If you have a way to flicker it, or if you have a way to get it back from the graveyard, or if you have payoff for enchantments, like this does stuff. And the green-black mana, green-black has been a meme for a while because the mana's been bad. Green-black mana is about to get good. We have the right pathway. And we have triomes. I mean, it's not a meme. Guys, not a meme. Good card. Probably it would have to be a 4 of and something very devoted to Yorion. Otherwise, maybe a 2 or a 1 or a 2 of, something like that. But good card. Don't worry about the Death Touch. The Death Touch is a meme. It's a trick. There will probably be a way to use it. Like if we have a Mayhem Devil type effect where you give a creature like your Fireblade Charger Death Touch with this, and then you sacrifice it or somehow kill it and it kills something else, right? That's really good. Don't say Blightfang. That's a freaking meme. I'm trying to not meme, chat. Come on, guys. Come on. Goochda, thank you for the Prime Gaming. But just talking about other things that you can do with the card. Abzan or Sultai. Well, you're going to try both, right? We still have a lot of new cards to look at. Scoot Blightfang. Guys, we can't do Scoot Mob Blightfang. We can only have 250 tokens. It's probably not enough. To be real. Let's all slow down and get realistic, okay? Oh my goodness. Gimster, thank you for the Prime. Oh yeah, guys, it does search for a forest. It does not search for a basic forest. I actually missed that. It searches for a forest, not a basic forest. That means you can fetch triomes, gingerbread cabin. Somebody out there is going to fetch gingerbread cabin. Snowland, that is accurate. Yep. Stuff. You can get stuff. You can get stuff with this. It's good. Good deal. Snowlands. So these are basic land types, as we just kind of mentioned. And there are usually cards that you can cast with snow permanents and cards that you can that benefit you from having snow permanents. So Snowlands are basic. They're basic lands, right? So you can have as many as you want. It's been a while. You can have as many as you want in your deck. And sometimes there's an upside to having them. There's cool things. It depends on the cards, right? Depends on the cards. But yeah, you can just run these. There are also usually punishments. There's usually something that like destroys or damages or hurts the opponent based on how many snow permanents they have. We'll see if they print that again, There's usually upsides and downsides to having snow permanents. So we'll see what they are. We got to see the cards. Snow dual lands. And note, these are basic types. They enter the battlefield tapped, like the meandering rivers of the world. And you can tap them for either color. And they're a snow permanent of basic types. So, interesting. They can be fetched when someone fetches, say, a forest. Not a basic forest, but a forest. Yeah. Or no, not a basic forest. These are not basic lands. They are snow lands, but they are not basic lands. And they are common for those of you who want to get in on the snow apocalypse. Frostbite. It's a snow instant, so I guess there will be cards that trigger off how many snow spells you play. Dude, your bicep is about to get nommed. Bro, you lifted. I hope you lifted enough. All right, 1 in a red. Frostbite deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, 3 damage instead. Don't wander far. It's a bit nippy out there. They put dad jokes on Magic cards. The cringe isn't just in the video. Okay then. Just So, you know what we say about burn spells, right? If it can't go face, it has no place. No face, no place. I'll enjoy the red mages who get trapped playing this against my creatureless decks who don't care. All right. Varagoth, Bloodsky Sire, 2 and a black, 2/3, Death Touch, Demon Rogue, Legendary. Boast, 1 and a black, target player searches their library for a card, shuffles their library, and puts that card on top of it. Okay, so let's meet Boast. Boast says you attack, you gain this ability. You can only do it if the creature attacked, and you can only do it once a turn. You can do it at instant speed. Boast would be really bad. Boast would be really bad if it was sorcery speed, because you'd have to wait till after combat. Your creature would have to survive combat. As it is, if your creature gets into combat, the Boast ability becomes relevant. You can do it pre-upkeep. Really? Is that so? How do you attack pre-upkeep? Would you like to tell me? So target player searches their library for a card. The target player is by being very aggressive. Mono red can do it. First to strike. Well said. Well done, chat. Well done. Triple strike. Good reason. Good. All right. So the reason it says target player, I'm confident, is for Commander. For those who don't know, Commander, multiplayer game, assume that you have 4 players in a game. If you say, I want to attack you, but I don't want you to block my Commander, you can make a deal. I will attack you with my Varagoth, and I will boast, where I will search for a card and put it on top, but I will also boast targeting you, and you may also search for a card and put it on top. Because, I don't know if you noticed, you can activate it multiple times a turn. Oh, it's only once a turn? Lame. Lame. Boo. Well, then what the heck is the point of that? I thought I had 5-headed this. Wait, why is it target player then? It's for politics. The only politics worth politicking are the ones where you win. Still no reason to give your opponent a card. 2-headed giant. Okay, 2-headed giant. Yeah, I guess 2-headed giant. How about standard? Is this card good? 1-on-1. 1-on-1. Is this a good card? I don't know. It seems slow. 3 mana, 2/3 Death Touch. Not a good body. Attack. Then you have to pay 2 mana, and you get a card the next turn. Too slow. Right? Too slow. Combo with Soaring Thought Thief? No, not really. It's a rogue. Soaring Thought Thief gives benefits to rogues, guys. Combo. Poggies. Poggies combo. We got a combo here. They share a creature type combo. Lord plus creature of type combo. Nah, I don't think it's good. I think it's too slow. It's a cool card. It's a cool card. Too slow. Interesting, though. And I'll probably play around with it, because why wouldn't you? But I think in kind of a generic sense, it's not really there. It needs... What does it need? It needs to survive. That's what it needs. It needs to survive. Haste. Sure. Haste wouldn't be the worst. Haste would not be the worst. It is an exciting card. I think people will play this and have fun with this. It also a demon. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Needs flash. Flash, of course, wouldn't be bad. All right. What's this? Oh, we actually got to read this one. It was on the screen for a hot minute while they explained Foretell. 3 and a green, 3/3. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Foretell, 1 and a green. You may pay to exile the card from your hand face down, cast it later for its foretell cost. It's a trap. It says draw a card. I love draw cards, but this is not what I had in mind. It's a 2-mana 3/3 that draws a card, CGB. No, it's not. It's a 4-mana 3/3 that draws a card. Either way, the difference is if you do absolutely nothing on turn 2, you can play this on turn 3. And maybe something else. It's okay. It's not gonna fix. It's not gonna make your Sudden Wolf tribal deck amazing. It's a very limited card. All right. Alrund's Epiphany. Guys, you like extra turns? You like birds? What if I told you you could have an extra turn and 2 birds? 2 birds! Eh? Are you guys aware? I thought everyone had heard that 2 birds is the word. Greg says, no, stop. All right. 7 mana is a lot. And it's not an instant, it's a sorcery. That's a huge difference from Nexus of Fate. Foretell, you can exile it face down, and then you may play it during your turn to cast it for the Foretell cost of 6. How's 6 mana for 2 birds in a turn? I don't remember Karn's Temporal Sundering being amazing. It had moments, but it was really niche. And Karn's Temporal Sundering was bounce target permanent and take an extra turn, but it required setup. Foretell requires setup in a way as well. It exiles, so you can't loop it. I don't think this is good enough. I think it's too expensive by quite a bit. Can you target Foretell cards in play? They're not in play, though. They're exiled, so no. Yeah, 2 birds, though. Okay. I know, bummer, right? You want your 2 birds. Thank you, Puff Party, for the $1. Grixis birds. Good Lord. But no, I don't. I think this is not good. I think this is the bad. I think that Mono Black Magic is going to play this card. I think that I am not. That is my prediction. That is my prediction, because unlike Tibalt, which you can play for an early board presence and effect, this you can pay the 2, but you had no effect that turn. And then all that lets you do is play it for 6 later, which you still have to survive till then, and you took off a turn at least. And even, like, you might end up taking that extra turn, doing not much, and what do you have? Say that you don't play something else on that extra turn. Say that you don't advance your board state. What do you have? That's right, you have 2 burbs. You got 2 blue bird creature tokens. Are you happy now? You've got a pair of turtle doves. And as long as you frickin' nerd, as long as you have your 2 turtle doves, you will never be lonely again. That's why you like this card. All right. Moving right along. They did the list. They're reprinting some cards. Cavern of Souls, Cold Storage, Dark Depths. Most of us will never actually hit that, but we'll see. And then they revealed this thing, which, what am I supposed to do now? What's the responsible thing to do now? It was bad enough that I had to ignore I ignored the leaks. You know? I didn't talk about the leaks on my stream. I didn't talk about it on my podcast, okay? I didn't do it. And then they revealed the card that I know what it does because it got leaked. They revealed the card, but with no text. What's a responsible content creator supposed to do with this marketing strategy? let's look at the text, because they revealed the text. I did actually know that. This is what we call a show, where I say and do things that don't always make sense for your entertainment, to trigger you and point out things that I find ironic and silly in the Magic universe. All right. So for green, Mythic Rare 6/6 Trample Haste Phyrexian Praetor. If you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on a permanent or player instead. If an opponent would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kinds of counters on the permanent or player instead. Then there's this larger art Phyrexian language. This is the language of Phyrexia, dudes. Those of you who haven't been around, Phyrexia is a very old piece of the MTG lore. How to best explain Phyrexians to people who, I don't know, to people who don't know, right? I would say it's like Zerg, but I thought that was Eldrazi, you know? The Phyrexians they're nasty. They're the Borg. Borg's not bad. Borg is not bad. Living metal demons. The angels from Evangelion. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. They are of other planes and worlds, and they just want to take over everything. They just want to crush it. They want to crush everything, and they're weird. They're just weird. They do weird freaking stuff. So, what does this card do? If you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of those kinds of counters on the permanent or player instead, and if an opponent would do it, half rounded down. What does it do? Let's think about some cards, shall we? Some of the easy ones would be if the opponent plays a Yorvo against you, it is a 2/2, not a 4/4. If you play a Yorvo against the opponent, it is an 8/8, not a 4/4. Big pog. But there's a lot more to it than that, because when we talk about counters, we aren't just talking about +1/+1 counters at all. We're talking about a lot of other things. A lot of other things. A lot of other things. For example, counters. Planeswalkers have counters. Planeswalkers have loyalty counters. So, if you play an Ashiok and you plus your Ashiok, you gain 2 counters instead of 1. That means you can ultimate it the next turn. If your opponent pluses an Ashiok, chat, how many counters does it get? How many counters does it get? 0. That is correct. All right, I need to look up a card here really quick. Because the writing is very important. This is one of my favorites. So, 2 and a tap, put a page counter on Mazemind Tome, draw a card. If your opponent controls a Mazemind Tome and attempts to scry or draw a card, what happens, chat? What happens to your opponent's Mazemind Tome? That's right, they get nothing. They get absolutely nothing. 0. Now is where it starts to get crazy. This is the. Are you ready for the wild? They still draw. They do not. Nope. They get nothing. Crawling Barons. They get 1 counter at a time. Yours get double. All right. Sagaz. Guys, I guarantee when it comes to this card, I'm going to say something that's wrong. I'm just going to keep saying what happens. I'm not going to worry about if it's true or not until I do it on Arena. All right. So, sagas. If you play a saga or tick up a saga with this card on the battlefield, you get 2 counters instead of 1. I believe that triggers both chapters. A judge will figure this out, but I believe it triggers both chapters. It skips, it triggers. We've got both in chat right now. I believe you get Dub's effect. My take is Dub's effect. I think you get both chapters. If your opponent plays a saga while this is on the battlefield, it rounds down the counter that would be put on it, meaning the saga gains no counter, which I believe means it does nothing. That's what I believe happens. I believe opponent saga does nothing. Anyway, all of this will be discovered live on Arena, or you can call your friend the judge. I'm just going to say what I think happens. Probably. I'm going to be wrong about some of it. Let's just keep enjoying the experience of what the hell does this card even do? Because what's more exciting than a card when you read it like this and you have to say, what does this even do? What does this even do, man? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think the saga just sits there, not even like gaining counters. But if this dies, like it ticks every turn, but it gains no counter, right? So if it dies, does then it start ticking? So the saga is sitting there, not gaining counters, and then eventually this dies, and then the sagas start to tick? Isn't that silly? I don't know. We're going to see. Risseladian, thank you very much for the gifted subs. For me, it's fun just to stir you guys up and get you guys arguing with each other. It's kind of adorable. Everybody thinks they're a Magic judge. All right. Let's see. The chapter ability is a triggered ability. It triggers when a lore counter is put on the saga, causes the number of lore counters on saga to become equal or greater than the ability's number. Chapter abilities are put onto the stack and may be responded to. Yeah, so? Still don't know what's happening. I still don't know what that means. I just read that whole thing and I still don't know what happens. All right. So this card is silly, but let's take a moment because some of you are looking at it like 6 mana, 6/6. Nobody plays those. They don't remember Primeval Titan. 6 mana, 6/6, trample, haste. It doesn't just come out and sit there. It comes out there and kills things. It comes out there and destroys something. It comes down and murders a planeswalker or a player's face. It has frickin' trample. Ryseldian, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Like this card is really, I think haste, agree, makes it playable. I think it's really good. I don't know what deck. We're going to have to figure out what deck. And it's probably not a 4 of. It's probably a 1 or a 2 of. It's probably not build your whole deck around it, but it's definitely something that will enable some nonsense when it's on the board. I don't think it's broken. I think it's exciting. There's a lot of ways that you can beat this card if you want to, but there's also a lot of decks that aren't going to plan for this because I don't think it will be main meta. It's just a lot of extra. It's a lot of extra juice. A lot of extra juice. It is a battlefield dominator. It is a head scratcher. It's going to lead to Narset levels of shame quitting that it's like the bluest green card in that it's going to tilt people into rage quits so fast because they didn't think about what it did. You know? It didn't occur to them that their creatures were not going to have counters on them, you know? I cast Swarm Shambler. Cool, it's dead. To the graveyard with your Swarm Shambler. We're done here. I use my Luminarch Aspirant to put a counter on my Speaker of the Heavens. No, you don't. I attack with my Linden and 5 other creatures to activate my Heliod to put 1,000,000 counters on my protection from green Alseided creature to lethal you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You thought you did, but you don't. I activate my Scavenging Ooze. No, I mean, you can. Go ahead. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. What happens if both players have this? I guess nothing. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of this that I'm not a judge and I'm not gonna know until I play it, but it is so fun. It is so freaking fun. I love this card already. I gotta be honest. I'll probably hate it before too long, but I love it. I love it right now. I love it right now. Rounding down half of 3 is 1. What am I putting 3 counters on at a time in one happening? I am so confused by that comment. All right. Cool. So, what else we got? There's probably other cards coming out because usually right after they preview cards, they preview, more cards. Glimpse of the Cosmos, 1 in blue sorcery. Look at the top 3 of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom. As long as you control a giant, you may cast... Frickin' giants. As long as you control a giant, you may cast Glimpse of the Cosmos from your graveyard by paying blue rather than its mana cost. If you cast Glimpse of the Cosmos this way, it would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. It has flashback with giant tribal guys. Sorcery is pretty lame. Sorcery is pretty lame, anticipate. Why giants? Why do giants get to glimpse the cosmos? Are giant... Oh, I got it. I know why, guys. Do you know why? Do you know why? Man, they should put me on the main show for this one. Do you know why? Giants are big brain. No, I'll wait for the reaction. I'll wait. Not the reaction I expected. Okay. I don't think this is particularly good, but it's another fun, giant card. Jimmy gets better jokes. Jimmy has a team of writers. All right. I am 100% self-produced here, guys. Come on now. We got anything else? We got some old cards people are putting up. Let's take it to the Scryfall. Let's take it to the Scryfall. See if Scryfall is dropping the cards on us. All right. Previews. Yep, saw you. Invasion of the Giants. Blue and a red. Chapter 1. Scry 2. Chapter 2. Draw a card. You may reveal a giant from your hand. When you do, Invasion of the Giants deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Seems pretty reliable. And then you deal 2 damage on turn 3, which sometimes is okay. Elspeth's Nightmare has kind of gotten away with similar sizing, and it's been okay. Yeah, and you get to scry, so you get a lot of looks to find the giant so that you more reliably get Chapter 2 of both drawing the card and dealing the damage, in which case that's not bad. The next giant spell you cast this turn costs 2 less to cast. Oh. Cost reduction. 2 drops, so turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. If you do no other ramp, you can play a 6-drop giant. A 6-drop giant. We got to keep an eye out for a really good 6-drop giant, like one that has pretty powerful board effect, because that's what you want to. That's the play pattern that you want to pair with this. Bone Crusher being a 1-mana 4/3 is very good. That is not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing at all. Teamer Giants, but okay. So with the Teamer Giants, you're saying that on turn 3 we Beanstalk Giant, and then we have 7 mana, so we cast Beanstalk with 5 mana out. But at that point, it's only a 5/5. That's okay. I give that an okay. That's not great. Grixis Giants. I will end the stream right now, you guys. I will hit the frickin' button and walk away if the Grixis meme doesn't stop. I am warning you. All right. Jeskai Giants. Why is that funnier to me? It really is. Yeah, Realm Cloak Giant. Interesting. Hey, is Cast Out... Okay, if you play the Adventure side of the Giant, is that a giant spell? It's not, right? No, it's not. It's not. It would have to be a giant sorcery. So that doesn't work. Guys, did you know there's this card called Yorion? Have you heard of this card called Yorion? Like, my fans might not be familiar with the only bird you need. This card called Yorion. The only bird you actually need, you bird nerds. All right. What else we got? We talked about the squirrel in a past video. And then Kaya and Halvar, these are all old news. Skyfall doesn't have that much up just yet. But the stream has been up for 2 hours. And because I streamed earlier today to do this reveal show with you guys, I actually still have to do a lot of things. I have not had any food. Some would say that is necessary. I have not made a video. Some would say the streak must go on, so I must go make a YouTube video. And yeah, there's a lot left undone on my Thursday so far. So, Covert Go Hungry activated. So that's going to bring us to the end of this particular spoiler stream. I will leave you with a very epic content creator. Thank you for hanging out with me to watch me put on the shirt, join the band, and watch... God, I don't know what I watched. I watched a very scripted, very, very cringe, very amateur axe throwing with some very sweet cards. Some very sweet cards. It's nice to know that in the Magic universe, there's actually people out there trying to be more cringe than me. So thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.